Hey guys, this is David Winterlich, and in this video I want to highlight some of the things that Florida did on defense against LSU. To begin, I'm going to be highlighting the great play of a couple of Gators. The first one is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who plays the nickel star position. He had an excellent game throughout, not only playing well himself, but showing some leadership, and we see that on this very first play. So this was early on in the game. Gardner-Johnson is right here, and to begin, before the play even starts, he's going to wave at Brad Stewart, the safety who's over here. Stewart is the single high safety, so they're only going to have one safety in the back. And LSU, you can see, has three receivers on this side. So Stewart is out of position right now, even though he's settling into his stance. And so if we watch this forward, you can see Gardner-Johnson, he's waving, "Hey, buddy, come over here." And so he gets Stewart to shift over. So Stewart ends up more over towards the offense's right, where he can help out more easily with where there are more offensive players. Play itself is a pretty simple wide receiver screen. This guy's going to come out, and these two are supposed to block the people in front of them. But Gardner-Johnson is going to sidestep his guy and come in and make the stop. If we watch this going forward, you can see the guy coming out, and Gardner-Johnson blows past his blocker and makes a perfect form tackle right there in the open field. Back it up. Here's what that looks like in real time. So that was a very good job of making an open field tackle in space by Gardner-Johnson. So here's another great play by Gardner-Johnson. This time it's from the second half, and it's going to be a running back screen. So the running back is just going to come up here and accept the pass right about there. And typically on running back screens, you want your linebackers to clean that up, but LSU is going to do a good job of blocking. So this receiver right here is going to come up and get David Reese, and the right guard is going to release to the second level and get Vachon Joseph. And so if both of these guys get their blocks, then this running back is going to have plenty of room to go out this way. So we watch this going forward, above the telestrations there from Gary Danielson. You've got a good block here, and this guy's about to get a good block here. And the running back has come out, and he's going to get an easy catch because it's a screen. But here's Gardner-Johnson, and once again he has avoided the guy making his block, and he's going to come up and try to make a tackle in the running back. Now, he doesn't quite get it. You can see here his hands on the ground, but he delayed the running back just enough that his friends can all come in and join in on the tackle. So just because he didn't make that tackle himself, it was fine because it allowed all of his buddies to come in and make the stop. So here it is in real time. That was an excellent job there of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to get past the person who's trying to block him and also not get juked by the running back in the open field. The other player I want to highlight is Vachon Joseph. He played his best game as a Gator against the Tigers, and here are a couple of plays where I want to highlight him doing a really good job. So this play is back in the first quarter, and this is simply going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to try to stretch it out to the left. LSU does a pretty good job of blocking everyone except for Vachon Joseph, who is right here. If we watch as the play begins, you can see right here is number 79, the center, and LSU is zone blocking here, and it ends up being his job to try to come up and get on Joseph. Now Joseph right now is doing a little bit of a stutter step. He came up, but he's being patient. He's not overrunning the play, which has been his vice in so many past games. And because he's not just running up, the center is not going to be able to get to him because he's going to go laterally. If he had just pursued with relentless abandon, he would have already been up here and he'd get caught up in the center blocking him. So he does a good job of being patient, and he flows to the ball and gets a nice tackle for loss with an assist from C.J. Henderson at the end. So here it is in real time, and watch how he does a little bit of a stutter step instead of just darting to the backfield at full speed. You can see it even better from the reverse angle. Here is Vachon Joseph, number 11. Watch him be patient and not get caught up in the center's block and be able to make the tackle. Now, this was Vachon Joseph's best game at getting after the quarterback, and on this play, some good design from the defense helps him out. So you can see that Florida is starting with 6 guys right on the line. Joseph is coming around to the end, and he will make a 6th on that side. But despite having 6 on the line, Florida's not going to bring 6. Florida is only going to bring 4. Both of these guys, Luke Ankrum and David Reese, are going to drop back. Kerry Clark is going to loop around this way to cover that side of the line, and these 3 guys are all going to overload the very edge of the offensive line. This guy right here is Marlon Dunlap, and he is going to directly attack the right tackle. C.C. Jefferson is the stand-up edge rusher over here, and he's going to come up, and the running back is going to block him. Vachon Joseph is going to go even wider around, and there aren't any offensive linemen pulling that direction, so he will get a free shot at the quarterback. And this works because Vachon Joseph is extremely fast. So if we watch this play start, here you can see Dunlap engaging with the tackle. Here comes the running back up, and he's got to make a choice as to who he's going to block. And there he goes. He's chosen CeCe Jefferson. He's making that block, which means Vachon Joseph is now coming free off the edge. Joe Burrow doesn't notice it until it's too late, and Joseph gets one of his several sacks on the day. So here it is in real time. Florida's overloading the offensive line, and Joseph is going to get a sack. Now that last play where Florida got creative with its pressure was unusual in the game. Florida didn't blitz much or do a lot of creative pressure on obvious passing plays. They mostly saved that for the run. And I think the reason is because they got gashed on some long running plays when they didn't blitz. Todd Grantham is known for blitzing, but in this game it was mostly for run plays. It wasn't for passes, and you really saw that at the end when he was only rushing either 4 or 3 in those obvious desperation passing plays. So this is a play from late in the second quarter, and it's already underway because of a CBS graphic getting in the way, but this is just a zone read play on 3rd and 1. Ja'Kai Polite was the unblocked end that the quarterback was reading, and you can see he is committed to crashing down on the running back, and so Joe Burrow is going to keep it and come out. That was a correct read by Burrow. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was kind of over here, but he is getting blocked by a good block right there. So the only person left to stop a run towards this side is Brad Stewart, the safety right here. But Stewart ends up focusing on the running back as well, and he will come up this way. And because LSU did a good job of sealing the edge with this block and sealing the edge with this block, Burrow is going to have a really long running lane to go that way, and he picks up about 20 yards. So as we watch this go forward, you can see Stewart is going to his left. He bit hard on that play fake to the running back, and Burrow just has this wide open lane to run through, and Gardner-Johnson does a good job of grabbing his jersey and eventually bringing him to the ground. So here is what I can show you of this play in real time, and again, look at Stewart and see how he's out of position and Burrow gets a really big running lane. So that happened in the first half. So now we're in the second half, and this is the second of Nick Brossett's really long runs on the touchdown drive that he basically did everything by himself. Once again, Florida does not blitz on this play. LSU has gone heavy by putting 2 tight ends in the game over here, and so Florida is countering with its 4-3 package, 3 down linemen, linebacker, linebacker, 2 more linebackers. Florida did this a lot when LSU went with 2 tight end sets, and even though Florida matched size for size, LSU was still able to get some good runs, and this is an example. So on this one, the LSU offensive line does a perfect job. The key blocks are 2 combination blocks. The first one is from the center and the right guard on the nose tackle, and then the right tackle and the tight end on the defensive end. Those initial double teams will move the line of scrimmage back by a yard or 2, and then the center will come up and get a second level block on a linebacker, and the right tackle will also come up and get a second level block on a linebacker. So if we watch this play start, here you can see 2 guys on the nose, 2 guys on the end. Watch it go forward a little bit more. Now they have released, and they are getting their blocks on the linebackers. That's a textbook example of combination blocks. This is exactly why they do it. So with this play blocked as well as it is, it's going to need to be defensive backs making the play. Here is Stewart again, he's coming up, and he runs too far over to the offense's right, and he's going to get caught up in traffic here. If we run it a little bit forward, there you can see he's now caught up in this traffic, and he can't do anything. And because these blocks have been all good, Brossette has this nice running lane to go through. And so there's only one person left, it's Trey Dean up here, freshman. And he is also going too hard to the offense's right. And so Brossette, once he gets through, he just makes a cut towards the middle, and Dean is way off balance and has no chance. And Donovan Steiner came in and had a bad angle, and so now he's free to run far up the sideline. So here is this play in real time. Florida just plays it like normal. LSU blocks it perfectly. You can't block this any better than they did. And the 2 defensive backs are too far to the offense's right. They're out of position, and a bad angle from the safety coming in at the end allows Brossette to get a monster run. So those are a couple examples of where LSU got really big runs when Florida didn't blitz on its run coverage. So here's the first play of the very next drive. And LSU again has gone heavy with 2 tight ends here, and Florida has also gone heavy with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Florida's base defense has 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers, but when offenses go heavy, they also go heavy with a 3-4. Florida has adjusted because they're going to bring CJ Henderson off the edge on a corner blitz. Now, LSU's play design actually has an affordance for some kind of defensive back coming from the second level, because the right tackle here is going to pull around and try to be a lead blocker for the running back. And we'll see these 2 things as we go forward. So here is Henderson coming off the edge, and here the right tackle has pulled, and he's going to try to be a lead blocker. Go forward a little bit more, and you can see here Henderson has a clear path, and the right tackle noticed the blitzer, and he's distracted. He's going to try to come up and block Henderson, but Henderson is way too fast. It's already way too late, and so he's not going to be able to do anything. Here comes Henderson. The back does a good spin move, and Henderson misses the tackle, but that's okay because he delayed the running back, and that is what's important here. He also distracted the right tackle, whose back is now turned to the play, and David Reese has come in on this angle, and he would have been blocked by the right tackle had the right tackle stayed with the play, but instead he has a free lane in, and he's going to delay the running back even more. Now I've backed this up a little bit because these blockers over here are expecting this to be a quick play out to the left, and so they're not going to block at full speed the entire way. You'll see 68 here, and also 18, the tight end behind him. They're going to kind of pull up and jog a little bit instead of following through with the entire play, because the play should be past them at the point at which they start pulling up. And so you can see them start to jog there. 68 has stood up entirely. He's looking into the backfield instead of paying attention to the play. And so Vachon Joseph has come around, and he is going to be the one who actually comes over and makes the final tackle. So here you can see Joseph coming in, and he and Reese kind of tag team it there at the end. So here's the play in real time. And even though Henderson missed the tackle, and Reese kind of missed it as well, but stayed with it and ended up helping, it delayed the running back, which was important because LSU's blockers kind of let up a little bit because they weren't expecting the play to last as long as it did, and Vachon Joseph is able to find a lane and come over and make the stop. So, Florida's defense had an excellent game against LSU. There were some very good individual performances, such as the ones by Gardner-Johnson and Vachon Joseph. I also want to give praise to Trey Dean. Despite his bad angle on that running play earlier, this was easily his best game as a Gator. He was excellent in pass coverage, but I just don't have enough time in these videos to spotlight everybody. Florida's pass coverage was very good overall. The run coverage was also good, but sometimes their heavier base defense just got blocked by LSU's offense. So when Florida really needed to get a run stop, they would often blitz like we saw there at the end, and that made the difference on a number of plays. So those are the things that I think we learned from the LSU game. Florida has some excellent defensive players who are getting better each week, and Todd Grantham, though he is known for blitzing, he does it for reasons. He doesn't just do it by default. He didn't blitz the pass a lot. He used the blitz a lot more against the run, and they ended up holding LSU to 19 points, and it was enough for a big win.